Thanks for tuning in to Barbershop Sports Talk.
Oh, we're back with Barbershop Sports Talk, and we have my friend Kenny Sims, scouting expert for 247 Sports. And as per what we're going to be doing during the entirety of the NFL season, Kenny's going to join me after every week of NFL action as we go through our NFL recap. And we're doing week 2 tonight. So, how you doing, Kenny?
Good, man. This is good. This is always good. After that great ending on Sunday Night Football, we got to just gather our thoughts, and then we got to go on the air in about 15 minutes, just breaking down all these games, all the full slate. But this will be good for the football season, and it went well last week, so happy to do it again this week and throughout the year. And we had a lot of good games on the card today, man.
I know it was a really interesting week, but the most interesting thing, and I think the biggest storyline that we should talk about, is the injuries. And we talked about this a little bit briefly before we got on air. You have Saquon Barkley, ACL. Bosa, I believe ACL, he's done. Jimmy Garoppolo, out. Christian McCaffrey, out. Drew Lock, out. There's a lot of players, even what happened with Tyra, right? A lot of players out. So, kind of, how shocked were you that there were so many major injuries?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, definitely in the first, about the first hour of the game slate that went off, there was a huge list of injuries. So, I mean, to see the combination of just the magnet, or just to see the sheer quantity of injuries piling up was shocking. And then it's just never good when you see just like the just like the star players go down, especially when they go down just consecutively, like especially Nick Bosa and Saquon Barkley. You want to keep the quarterbacks healthy, and I think we had that stretch. Like there was a stretch in like 2015 or 16 where there's like 12 backups playing, but the other non QBs too are just great for the league in terms of just putting up highlights and performances and just major players for victory. So it was shocking, and it was really devastating too, just with a lot of guys that I know. I like, I'm sure you like, and I'm sure there's a lot of players that the listeners like too. And really just honing on the 49ers. The 49ers went to the Super Bowl last year, Daryl, and now it's back to that. Now it's kind of back to the 2018 49ers for a little stretch when they didn't have Nick Bosa. He was taking the draft a year after. Jimmy Garoppolo was injured, so you lose Bosa and Garoppolo and Raheem Mostert, and that was a 2018 team that went like 3-13. So they got to kind of weather that a little bit with Garoppolo being out for about 4 to 6 weeks. But they got a lot of injuries with Kittle, Mostert, a slew of receivers. I mean, there are 2 pass rushers, D Ford and Bosa out, Sherman on IR. So I would say everybody has a lot of injuries, but none other than the 49ers, I think, are the team that are hit the worst right now. Them and the Jets.
So how do the 49ers manage this? Because when we've talked about this ad nauseum, right, they're in a division with Arizona. They're 2-0 right now. The Rams, who are looking really good right now, they're 2-0. Seattle Seahawks, right, 2-0. Now they're 49ers, they're 1-1. And they're going to trot out a guy and Nick Mullen who, isn't Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're going to kind of have to weather the storm. How do you see this stretch going?
Well, I think what they have to do here is they got to really try to cut down on the game plan a little bit and get back to the run game. I mean, they still have the run game going. They still got a really strong group of running backs with, you could go with Kevin Coleman and McKinnon now, and even they bring in Jeff Wilson too. So from a running game standpoint, I really think they're really going to need a hammer on that and cut down on other teams' possessions, work time of possession, and have Kyle Shanahan kind of scheme together some openings. They're going to get Kittle back soon, and kind of do what they did in 2018 a little bit. Kyle Shanahan, really good game planner. but you take a look at their next schedule. I pulled up. So they play Giants, Eagles, Dolphins. All those teams are 0-2. So I think right now, if you're the Dolphins, is you got to look and see, okay, can we try to go, 2-2 over the next 4 weeks? And, if we could do that, keep the ship upright a little bit, being like 3-2, and then get Garoppolo back and get some of those offensive players back, with D Ford coming back soon, and kind of work with it that way. So they have the strong roster, but another thing that's going to hurt them too is last year they like to roll those guys on the D line and play 8-9 guys, and they can't do that anymore too. So I think right now if they got just they got a light part of the schedule coming up these next 3 weeks. So let's try to go 2-1 and try to kind of stay around 500 until we get Garoppolo back and Kittle back.
And how does losing Bosa for the year change this 49ers defense?
Yeah, I mean, it changes it with him, and then Solomon Thomas is out too. So they got Armstead, and kind of limited from there. So they're going to have to find other ways to get their pass rush going too without Bosa. Garoppolo is coming back, and Kittle. Bosa is not. He's done for the year, more than likely with an ACL. So they're going to have to find other ways to get the pass rush home. And so that's going to be something to look at too. As you take a look at that sack differential during the games, and you see, okay, can the 49ers find a way to get those 3 sacks a game and get pressure on the other team's quarterback? Because from a unit standpoint, in the back end of the secondary, they're not that strong in the secondary. They really rely on their pass rush for the quarterback to get the ball out quickly, keep everything in front of them. So they're going to have to find other ways to get a pass rush, and they're quickly off 3 defensive ends right now.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a very interesting stretch for the 49ers, too, especially with Garoppolo. This isn't a guy that's had a lot of reps at quarterback, right? Last year was his first full season. And then it's he's trying to gear back up, right, and build off of what they had last year, and now they can't do that.
Exactly, and he was putting together a nice game today. I think he was 14 of 16 before he went out. Plays within that offense nicely too, but they're going to have to find, just a little spark with Nick Mullins. There were some flashes with him, but I think the next 3 games are going to be really important for them because they have, 3 0-2 teams that they could try to just stay around that 500 mark. If you take a look at the playoffs, even with an extra team in a strong NFC, I got to think 9-7 could get into the playoffs or really be in the discussion. So just try to stay afloat and above the 500 mark.